Now, this one from Tuesday's Times, I found this quite interesting and encouraging, I must say, Steve. This is a change in the weather, a little bit, of the feelings of the British people.
Young people, certainly.
Young people, yeah.
In terms of science versus religion. There's less animosity, and most young people don't see science and religion as opposing forces in a war, which is good, especially, this is Generation Z, especially if you follow the general trend that science discovers something and then now science owns that land. Because there's never really been one thing that's been pushed back.
No.
You capture one angel, then we'll talk. But until then, there's this general trend of originally, thunder, what is it? Well, it must be a god. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll fix that with a bit of science. And from there, everything moves through. We've got less negative attitudes towards religion, and I think my take on that would be because other people's religion impacts our lives less. Like I can shop on a Sunday, I can get the medical treatment that I think I should get. As long as your religion isn't impacting those issues, then there's no reason to be falling out.
But there was a period, only about 20 years ago, when the new atheism arrived. We had Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens, like most famously, but also comedians like Robin Ince and so on. There seemed to be like quite a lot of people who were almost... I don't know, like finding that was a new tribe that they were part of, that they wanted to identify with, a sort of quite militant atheism that was quite sarcastic about people clinging to faith and old-fashioned ideas that didn't necessarily understand, in my view, the role that religion and faith play in life, as if it was still a way of explaining the universe rather than a sort of structure within which to understand our personality,
it's such an intimate relationship people have with whatever they think is their God that, you can't really label any one thing.
No.
That it serves people in one way. It serves people in many different ways.
If that were all that happened, then there'd be no reason for there to be any animosity or conflict. But I think when you get a pushback saying, oh, no, evolution didn't happen, it's creationism, well, now you've suddenly decided to have a scientific conversation from a point of view of what is effectively guesswork, because unless you do the research to do the scientific method, you're just coming up with an idea.
I mean, I think, to be fair, I would have to say, realistically, if you think it through logically, Darwinian notion of evolution does essentially discredit the Christian notion of the soul and of humans as being something separate. I think it probably just... I mean, there's been an ebbing and flowing of attempts to resituate God within that universe. He's not entirely eliminated. Well, let's put it this way. I think it was Heisenberg said something about when you first drink from the glass of the natural sciences, you quickly become an atheist, but God is waiting for you at the bottom of the glass.
Well, the Big Bang's a great example. You can do all the science, you work out the start of the universe, and the religious people just need to sit there and go, and who did that?
Yeah.
You could do that forever.